What if every time you hit the brakes, your car actually got a bit more fuel instead of wasting it? Picture heat flying off the rotors in a gas car. Now picture an EV catching that energy and sending it back to the battery. That's the magic of regenerative braking. In fact, in perfect lab cases, systems can capture up to about 70% of braking energy. And as one engineering review puts it, during braking, the electric machine runs in generator mode, flipping torque and turning motion into charge. Wild, right? I'm Morgan Lane, your safety-first car expert, and welcome to Recall Roadmap with Morgan. Today I'm breaking down Regen in plain language, with clear visuals and real data. We'll look at how it works, how much range it adds, why brakes last longer, and what it means for safety. We'll even touch on real crash reports and what engineers learned from them. On screen, you'll see a quick poll. Did you know your EV can recharge while braking? Yes or no? Tap like if you want more simple visual car safety explainers. I've dug through engineering journals and safety reports so you don't have to. So how does this actually work? And does it really save you money or change how you stop? Let's pull it apart, step by step. What exactly happens when you lift off the throttle in an EV? Here's the simple truth. Your drive motor flips roles. It stops being a motor and acts like a generator. Engineers say the machine operates in generator mode during braking. That means the wheels are pushing the motor, and the motor is pushing electrons back into the battery. You feel it as a smooth pull, like gentle engine braking. Behind the scenes, the car's brain blends two systems. Regen handles the first chunk of slowing. The hydraulic brakes are always ready to add more or take over. If the battery is cold or full, the battery management system limits Regen. No worries. The mechanical brakes handle the stop, so it still feels normal and safe. In ideal cases, Regen systems can recapture up to about 70% of the kinetic energy. Real driving is lower, but that ceiling shows what's possible. The handoff between motor and pads is seamless, thanks to sensors on the pedal, speed, and wheels. I've reviewed the control diagrams in the studies, and the theme is clear. Smooth blending equals safe, predictable stops. So the motor can slow you down, but how much extra range does that actually give you day to day? Let's check the numbers next. Let's check the, okay, techno terms aside, how much extra mileage can Regen really give you? In city driving, tests show you can often recover around 10 to 20% of the energy you used. Some studies even saw up to about 24% with very strong settings on a small EV. That top setting can feel a bit abrupt, but it proves the point. Stop and go is where Regen shines. Think of it this way. If your car usually gets 300 miles in city-like use, good Regen habits might nudge that to roughly 330 to 360 under the same conditions. Not a second gas tank, but a free bonus just from slowing down smart. Analysts also found a compact EV, like a Leaf, used about 82.5% less energy per mile than a similar gas car. Regen is a big part of that efficiency win, but there are catches. On the highway, you brake less, so Regen helps less. If your battery is full, Regen has nowhere to send energy, so it dials back. Have you noticed your EV coasts longer or needs the brake pedal less in town? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments. I cross-checked maker guides with academic tests and the results line up. Now, what does this feel like behind the wheel? So, if Regen is working, do you still use the brake pedal? You do, but often less than you think. In many EVs, just lifting off the throttle gives you a strong, smooth slowdown. With a high setting, the car can even roll to a full stop. That's called one-pedal driving. It takes a little practice, but it cuts down brake pad wear and makes city driving calm and easy. Different cars let you choose the strength. Some use a B mode or a slider. At stronger levels, coasting feels like a downshift. Behind the scenes, sensors read pedal position and speed. The computer blends motor regen and hydraulic pressure so the handoff feels smooth, even in a surprise stop. And yes, modern EVs light the brake lamps during regen when you slow enough, so drivers behind you know you're decelerating. I've tested one pedal on tight city loops. After 15 minutes, my foot learned to feather the throttle to time lights and turns. Smooth, quiet, and satisfying. Some cars even adapt Regen using forward sensors to help with traffic flow. If one pedal can handle so much, what happens to old-school pads and rotors? Do they last longer, or is there a catch? Let's talk wear and money next. If the motor does most of the slowing, do EVs ever need brake service? Yes, but not as often. Because Regen takes the first bite out of speed, the friction brakes sit back. Industry data shows many EV brake pads can exceed 100,000 miles before replacement. On gas cars, you often see pads wear out around 40,000 to 50,000 miles. That is a big maintenance win. Experts put it simply, the electric motor does most of the work, so pads and rotors see less grinding, less heat, less dust, less wear. But there is a catch. Since pads touch the rotors less, rust can build up faster, especially with road salt, rain, or humidity. Without regular scraping, a rotor can corrode even if you aren't using the brakes much. My advice, treat your EV brakes like they still matter. Get a yearly inspection, follow your owner's manual. In a safe, clear spot, an occasional firm stop can help clean the rotors. Again, only if your manual says it's okay. Your actual life will vary with terrain, weather, and driving style. So you save money and parts. But are EVs just as strong in an emergency stop? And what happens when software or ice gets involved? Safety is up next. Are EVs as safe to stop? Fast? Yes. All cars have to meet the same brake performance rules. Regen doesn't replace safety, it adds a helper layer. If the battery can't take charge or the wheels slip, the mechanical system takes over. Reviews note the mechanical brakes ensure adequate braking when energy recovery is limited. In practice, you press the pedal, and the car blends both systems so the stop feels normal. Let's talk a real case. Regulators looked at about 7,140 Fisker Ocean SUVs after reports of a partial loss of Regen on slick roads. 6 minor crashes and 1 injury were linked, and an over-the-air fix followed. No fatalities. That shows 2 things. 1, software can hiccup. 2, conventional brakes still handle the job when Regen steps back. Modern EVs pair Regen with ABS and stability control. If traction drops, Regen eases and hydraulic pressure does the heavy lifting. Your foot feels a steady stop. Do you trust your EV's braking? Yes or no, tell me in the comments. And if you're learning something today, consider subscribing for calm, clear safety breakdowns from an investigator's view. Now, Regen sounds great, but when does it not help at all? Let's be honest about the limits. So far, Regen sounds like a superpower. Can it fail or switch off? Yes, and that's by design. At very low speeds, roughly under 10 to 15 miles per hour, the motor can't make much generator drag. Regen fades out and the friction brakes do the final stop. If your battery is at 100%, Regen has nowhere to send energy, so it reduces or shuts off. The battery management system protects the pack and decides what Regen current is safe. Slippery roads can also lower Regen. To avoid wheel slip, the car dials it back and lets ABS and hydraulics take over. That's why snow or ice might feel a bit different. More pedal, less coasting pull. One study found that a 100% Regen setting felt too strong for comfort, with a sudden jump in braking force. That's why many cars cap strength to keep things smooth and stable. Bottom line, think of Regen as bonus deceleration. It's awesome, but it's not unlimited. Always be ready to press the pedal and let the friction system do work. Knowing this helps you predict the feel. Now let's clear up a few rumors and myths you've probably heard. What rumors have you heard about EV brakes? Let's bust a few. Myth 1. EVs don't need brake pads. Not true. Every EV has normal hydraulic brakes. They just wear slower because the motor helps a lot. Myth 2. Regen is unsafe on ice. Modern control systems dial Regen back on slick roads, then ABS and the hydraulic system take over. Stopping distances still have to meet the same legal tests as any car. Myth 3. You can coast forever on Regen. Regen only happens when you slow down. If you hold speed, there's no energy to recover. Myth 4. EV brakes always feel jerky. Newer software blends motor and friction smoothly. You may not notice the handoff unless you set Regen very high. Quick reality check. In perfect cases, you might capture up to about 70% of braking energy, but city driving usually sees around 10 to 20%. Many EV pads can pass 100,000 miles. And while rare software issues can happen, as seen in that small set of Fisker cases, fixes roll out and the mechanical system still stops the car. With myths cleared, how do you get the most from Regen today and what's coming tomorrow? Let's wrap with tips and the road ahead. Alright, how do you use Regen day to day? In the city, choose a higher Regen setting if your car lets you. It saves energy and reduces pad wear. Feather the throttle to time lights. In winter or on slick roads, be gentle. The car may cut Regen for grip, so be ready to press the brake as usual. If you just charge to 100%, expect less Regen at first. Check your manual to learn your car's modes and limits, and get a yearly brake inspection to watch for rust. Looking ahead, the tech gets even smarter. Researchers are testing supercapacitors and advanced batteries that can swallow quick bursts of energy from braking. In lab work with heavy vehicles, setups like that have shown the potential to recapture up to around 40% on certain runs. Brake-by-wire is also growing. That's where the pedal is electronic, so the computer can blend Regen and friction with even finer control for comfort and safety. On screen, you'll see a final quick poll. Did this change how you think about braking? So what's the big takeaway? Regen is free energy you only get when you slow down, and it's getting better every year. Let's finish strong. Regenerative braking isn't magic, but it is powerful. It captures energy you'd normally lose as heat, and in city driving it can boost range by roughly 10 to 20%. It also slashes brake wear. Many EV pads can pass 100,000 miles, while the conventional hydraulic system remains your full-strength backup for every stop. Engineers even call regeneration the only way to refuel while driving. I'm Morgan Lane. Thanks for watching Recall Roadmap with Morgan. Today we saw how the motor becomes a generator, how the car blends systems to keep stops smooth, why pads last longer, and how real safety checks and rare software hiccups fit into the bigger picture. What surprised you most, and will this change how you drive your EV? I'd love to hear your take. Please share this with a friend who's EV curious, and if you found value here, subscribe for more smart, calm safety guides and visual breakdowns. Thanks for watching and drive safe. Remember, watch your settings, stay ready to use the brake pedal, and give your system a yearly check. You've just learned the simple truth behind Regen, and now you can make it work for you. See you in the next deep dive on Recall Roadmap with Morgan.